Hey guys, it's Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, and in today's video, we're going to do an unboxing and first impressions of a Fanvil phone. Now, before we get into this, I don't really know anything about Fanvil or their IP phones. This was a phone that was actually sent to me from VoIP Supply, one of our partners that sends us a bunch of stuff for reviews and whatnot. I was told by VoIP Supply that Fanvil is quote-unquote turning the heads of some of the other competitors like Cisco, Yealink, and Polycom, not only because of their sleek design and their capability, but supposedly because of their really nice price point in comparison to what they offer in comparison to their other equivalent Polycom or Cisco or Yealink counterparts. So anyways, before we get into this video, remember, VoIP Supply sent us this phone. They sent it to us for free for review. I'm going to put a link down to this phone below the video for any of you that want to check out the phone, see more detailed specifications and technical information, and also look at pricing and whatnot. So without further ado, let's unbox this Fanvil phone and see what we got. All right. So it looks like we got a user's manual here. It looks like this is the Fanvil X5U. Quick installation guide. Oh man, they're really saving trees here. This is a very small and very quick and easy quick installation guide / user's manual, and compared to some of the ones that I see on some of this stuff. Got the phone itself. Let's take that out of there and see how it looks. Looks like it's got a decent size color screen there. Oh, I'm impressed already, you guys. Wait till we put this together. So that's the phone itself. Let's get through our unboxing here. Got the handset here. Got ourselves a kickstand, pretty self-explanatory. Got the connector for the handset, to go in there, to connect it to our phone. And then last but not least, got a Cat 5, Cat 6 cable to connect the phone. So let's go ahead and put it together and see what we got. Okay, so first impressions, I gotta say guys, I am impressed. Let's go over a few things here and I'll tell you why I'm impressed. Number one, the color screen. Now it is a 4-line phone, it looks like here. It's got 4 function keys, so this is pretty standard in line with, say, an equivalent Polycom VVX250 or something like that. But where I'm really impressed and what I did not expect to see was this. If I'm understanding what this is here, this looks like it is a built-in expansion card built into the phone. Now, what do I mean by that? For those of you who may or may not know, some of the Polycoms and a lot of the Yealinks and whatnot, they have the ability for you to pay approximately anywhere from $100 to about $150, usually not over $200, unless you want to get really fancy, for an expansion card that connects on the side of the phone, typically here. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, it's a thing that comes out kind of like yay this big, and it typically will have anywhere from 24 to 48 additional keys. Scenarios that I've worked that use something like this is an attorney's office that we worked where it's a woman at the front desk that handles and filters and screens all of the calls for all 36 attorneys. And so she has a Polycom that has a big expansion card that they paid about $180 for that gives her an additional 48-line capability to be able to see what people are doing on the phone and say, oh, Attorney Bob or Attorney Sally is busy right now. I'll transfer you to the voicemail or whatever and so on and so forth. But this phone looks to have kind of a mini expansion card built in. This is huge, you guys. I have people all the time that they're not a bigger business like the attorney's office example that I just mentioned. They are a smaller company but they still would like the ability to be able to have what's called Visual Call Park and be able to see who's on different calls or on different lines throughout the office and quickly transfer a call and say, hey, or quickly say, hey, Bob, are you busy? Or see if they're busy. But this is an actual digital screen here. So what my assumption is that this is quite literally a mini built-in expansion card for Visual Call Park and call monitoring in a small to mid-sized office. This is an awesome, awesome feature, and I did not expect to see this. I like the keys. For those of you who frequent and watch some of my other unboxing and first impression videos, even though I'm a huge advocate of Polycom, I don't usually like the round style keys. I'm a fast dialer, so a lot of times you'll hit those keys and it'll feel like you miss and you hit a corner. I love the big rectangular style keys that kind of stand up off the thing, and they feel really nice. They feel soft, but they're big and they're not hard to miss. So I guess good for, some older folks that might want bigger keys, but also nice for people that are speed dialers like me that want to be able to, fast dial and not miss the keys or anything like that. As I mentioned earlier in the video, this looks to be a color screen. I'm pretty sure it is. I don't believe it's touchscreen, but as I do with all of my unboxing and first impression videos, I'm going to do a later, more in-depth video of this phone where I actually power it up with power and hook it to my internet provider and actually do a legit in-depth review. It's got the 4 function keys. It's got a navigational keypad just like any other phone typically has these days that helps you get around the menu and hit OK and select where you want to go. You see it's got place a caller on hold, transfer calls, conference calling, voicemail, the ability to connect to a headset, all that kind of stuff, so pretty standard. I love, love, love this big speakerphone design. How the speakerphone and the grill encompasses all of this. I can't wait till when we do our later full in-depth review, see what the speakerphone on this bad boy sounds like. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing what that sounds like and how good that is. The handset feels really, really sturdy. If there's one thing that I love about a good desk phone and how you can tell about the quality of the build, it's the weight and how sturdy the handset does or doesn't feel. This feels really sturdy and it looks like it's made well with really decent craftsmanship. So good phone, I guess, for people that make a lot of calls and tend to slam down their phone quite a bit. I do see that it has the HD voice symbol. So again, I guess it means that this is Fanville's version of their patented or signature HD voice, but in a previous video, we're going to actually test it out and see just how it sounds. So here we are on the back of the phone. Let's get some first impressions and a view of what we have here. You've got an AC adapter plug here. Now in the box, there was no AC adapter. Being that I'm somebody that has worked in this industry and still works in this industry quite a bit, for those of you who are watching, a typical sure sign of to know whether your phone supports power over Ethernet or not is if it doesn't come with an AC adapter, because none of them ship with an AC adapter that are power over Ethernet capable. If it doesn't come with an AC adapter, you can bet your boots that that is a power over Ethernet capable phone. So now that we've covered that, that brings us to our next thing, which is here's your Ethernet pass-through. Here's your port right here for your internet coming in, and then a port to go out to something like a PC or whatever it may be. I'm pretty sure this is power over Ethernet because, again, there's no AC adapter came in the box. And actually, there we go. It says right there, PoE 48 volts. So this is definitely confirmed a power over Ethernet capable phone. As we already talked about, here is your cable where your actual handset goes. And then here is a cable for a headset or whatever that may be. I gotta honestly say I'm not too thrilled about this because I like how a lot of phones typically will have like a 8mm jack and then they'll have this. These type of ports, while they're nice and you can get some high-end headsets for these types of ports, this type of port typically limits you dramatically on the range of headsets that you can get. Whether this phone supports Bluetooth or any sort of wireless connectivity to a headset, I do not know, but we will cover that in a video where we do a full in-depth review of this bad boy. Here is a USB port that is on it, It's on the back of the chassis, kind of towards where the top part is, on the back. Here, this would open up a wider range of headsets that you can get for call center use or for just hands-free calling and things like that. Also, most phones that typically have a USB port like this also allow two other functions. Number one, you can actually charge like an external device. Like you could plug your cell phone charger into this and then have your cell phone sitting on the tabletop next to you. And number two, some phones, and probably this one as well, allow for you to connect external storage devices via USB to here and use it to store calls that you want to record onto an external storage for safekeeping or for mobility or whatever that may be. So, my overall impression on this phone, I really like it. I really like the design. It's not quite as sexy and appealing as some of your Yeelinks out there, but I really like how it's different. It looks very robotic. I really dig this diamond shape down here. And also, I've seen for myself, even though they didn't have any in stock to send me, VoIP Supply didn't have any in stock at the time, this phone actually comes in different colors, like neon pink and lipstick red and like, sports car like yellow and things like that. So this phone actually comes in different colors, which is kind of cool. It's a sexy looking phone. The 4-line capability is really nice. At first, when I pulled it out of the box, I thought to myself, man, only 4 lines for a phone this big. But then that was when I was stunned by the surprise of quite literally a built-in mini expansion module. This right here, guys, to just give a first impression review, this blew me away. This right here is revolutionary. Knowing what I know from working with so many customers that can benefit from even a small expansion module, but they just cannot justify the price and the overkill of like a 24 port or 48 port expansion module. To be able to have a 6 line or 6 port capability expansion module in tandem with your 4 line incoming and outgoing line capability, this is revolutionary. This is a pretty awesome little phone. So first impressions, it looks nice. It's good to look at, but from a functionality standpoint, this is just a really awesome phone. Now, the funny thing is I actually mentioned to somebody at one of my suppliers, I mentioned this phone and they said, you know what? I never heard of that phone, but it's a SIP-based phone, right? And I checked with VoIP Supply, and sure enough, it is a SIP-based phone, which means this phone in theory would work with most any SIP-based carrier. So again, if you're interested in more information about this phone, there's going to be a link below this video to a direct link of this phone on VoIP Supply's website where you can see pricing and more technical information. They were the ones who were gracious enough to send us this phone for free for review. So check it out. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're somebody who's watching this video and you don't have phone service and you're interested in finding out not only more information about this phone, but what service providers support this phone, I represent all voice over IP phone service providers in the United States. So give me a shout. I can get you the best pricing and the most competitive quotes through whatever carrier you'd like to shop. Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, your go-to guy for the best deals on business phone and internet service in the United States. I'll talk to you guys again in the next video.